Though it has garnered widespread acclaim as one of the classic animated films of the 1990s, the man behind what we now know as Walt Disney's Peter Pan may have created the character as an outlet for his own psychosis. The film's namesake character was first introduced to the world in print by author j.m.barrie in the early 20th century novel, The Little White Bird. The Little White Bird focused around a man obsessed with stealing a 7-year-old baby away from his mother. The sequel to The Little White Bird was titled Peter Pan in the Kensington Garden, a tale which elaborates on the story of a week-old baby who never grows up, believing that his mother will always leave the window by which he left open for his return. However, he is heartbroken upon his return to find his mother holding another baby, with the windows closed off, with the lesson being that her love was conditional and she was able to move on without him. The motifs present in the early rendition of the Peter Pan stories, though eerie on their own, only darken when examining the lifestyle and history of the man who penned them. j.m.barrie was a Scottish-born author who is first believed to have developed an obsession with boyhood after the passing of his 13-year-old brother David. Reportedly, J.M. struggled to cope with the death of his sibling. However, he was eventually able to find solace in the fact that due to his death, David could, quote, remain a boy forever. Barrie moved to London with his wife Mary Ansell in the late 1890s. They divorced shortly after, with history suggesting that Barrie may not have ever slept with his wife, with Barrie himself saying, quote, "There seems to be some curse upon me. You're the only woman I ever wanted to love, but apparently I can't." In 1889, during a stroll through Kensington Gardens Park, j.m.barrie began speaking with a group of brothers and their nurse in the park, the brothers ranging from ages 4 to 5. Barrie then met the parents of the children, Arthur and Sylvia Davy, and made a slow transition from an overly friendly man in the park to someone who they referred to as Uncle Jim, even at one point vacationing with the family. It was only later discovered that J.M. had been writing to Arthur and Sylvia's son Michael, and on the eve of his 8th birthday wrote, "I wish I could be with you in your candles. You look on me as one of your candles, the one that burns badly, the greasy one that is bent in the middle, but still, hooray, I am Michael's candle. I wish I could see you putting on the redskin clothes for the first time. Dear Michael, I am very fond of you, but don't tell anybody." By 1910, both parents had passed away, and before she passed, Sylvia Davy left behind a handwritten letter saying, quote, "What I would like would be if Jenny would come to Mary and that the two together would be looking after the boys in the house." Mary was the children's nanny and Jenny was Mary's sister. However, Uncle Jim was nowhere to be found in the original transcription of the note. However, j.m.barrie, Uncle Jim, edited the note to read Jimmy instead of Jenny before the letter went out to the children's grandmother. j.m.barrie would go on to gain full custody of the children in the Davy home. The oldest child, George Davies, was killed in World War I. Michael and a close friend, Rupert, who history suggests may have been Michael's partner, drowned in each other's clutches. Brothers Peter and Nico suggested the drowning may have been a suicide pact. Peter was driven to alcoholism due to his unwanted attachment to Barrie's famed character, referring to it as, quote, "that terrible masterpiece." Actually based upon Michael, Peter was the one who gained the unwarranted notoriety for it. In April of 1960, Peter jumped in front of a subway train, marking the third tragedy of the Davy children, who j.m.barrie was left to raise. In 1937, Barrie himself died of pneumonia and gave the copyright of Peter Pan to the Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital. Though no concrete evidence has ever surfaced that the man behind the iconic character sexually assaulted any of the boys, his behavior is certainly indicative of a mentally unwell man. It is entirely possible that Barrie was simply doing his part to look over children in need. However, anecdotal and circumstantial evidence suggests that Barrie was a traumatized individual, making a career out of writing fanciful renditions of the deviant behavior and thoughts that he lived out in his own personal life. We hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe for more videos.